That's the sound we love. Dragons, people. Yes, welcome to a stream by the crossroads, or maybe being changed to, because I just don't know why it took me so long to figure this out. You know, a song, a spork of ice and fire. Okay, stream by the. Yeah, why didn't I ever think of that? Right? I don't know, but we got a couple people watching. We haven't done a Monday night in forever, and we were also alternating for ancient lost history and a song of ice and fire. So tonight we're doing some House of the Dragon theories. People, some of these, CBR and other sites have brought up 10 theories for next season. So we might, there's like 4 articles I have, but they'll probably double up. I didn't really look at them because I kind of want to be like, first see it and then, think of it there. I didn't want to think ahead because I don't like to think ahead ever. How are you though? We have the lovely Tina Bojan with us tonight. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I had an exciting day of not doing anything, which was great, and except running to the dentist real quick. So yay.
Yeah. I was about to say, don't lie, you went to the dentist, but all right.
I did go to the dentist.
Yeah, you got to get to the dentist, and that's a good thing. Well, I'm glad you're here. We only have a couple people watching, but if you are on YouTube or Rumble, please, post a comment, like, share, but definitely follow or subscribe. Rumble, I'm trying to get now to 400. We just passed the 350 mark on our road to 1,000. And YouTube, we're trying to get to 5,500 and 6,000. Really, we're trying to get to 10,000. But please, Rumble people, I know this ain't always your bag, but support somebody who YouTube demonetized because they don't like what they talk about. Please follow me on Rumble. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. And also follow Tina. But we have Soul Assassin. He is the mod of mods. How are you, my friend? It's to smash the like and share the stream out. So I appreciate that. And that's the only person who's commented. So we'll get into it. So I thought we'd start with House of the Dragon. Oh, the lovely Sherry. I'm sorry. Let me show everybody. She made this. It's a House of the Dragon XXX parody with, I believe that's me. I almost feel like I look like a weird Hillary Clinton in that, but
I'll buy that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
some of those early days with
those
the
early
hair
days.
before she got the old lady haircut.
Yeah, well, I mean, this does take place, back then. And then, I just decided that's probably a better picture for sucking people in. So I've been looking for news for House of the Dragon. And actually, I'm going to stop sharing that. And I did find some news. Let's make sure I don't show everybody my DMs and stuff first. But let's take a look at some of this here. So this is, and I will blow this up. Tell me, Tina, when you guys can see it pretty well.
I can see it. Perfect.
Okay, I'm going one more then, because always more.
All right.
I have no clue what this person says here. 10 locations, I'm thinking, as filming House of the Dragon in North Wales. But yeah, they have a couple pictures here. So it's hard for me to even see them. But you have in this top left one, you have, who are those people? Is that the...
I think that's supposed to be Nettles.
Those the seeds?
Third one. Yeah, the second from the right is Nettles.
Right. Okay. So I know we're getting Hugh. Oh, the other seed. He's Hugh. Oh crap. What's his name? I can't remember his name. I know his name's Hugh, like Warhammer or something like that. He's one of the other dragon seeds. So I think we're getting him too. So he could be up there. I think that's cool. I'm glad they're going to introduce the dragon seeds. You need to do that.
Absolutely.
Right. And I think it comes up in our little theory thing we're going to go through. And then let's see what else I see here. We have Corlys on the right top. And I don't know. He's in battle armor. So I don't know if it's, it's probably against the Triad from Essos. So that's probably what that's going to be all about. I believe the left middle, that definitely looks like a dragon. Blue, they're wearing like blue screen dragon.
Oh
wear.
Yeah. I knew that they were supposed to not be in there, but I didn't even think about the fact that
yeah.
they had...
But it looks like a child all the way to the right. I wish I could zoom in on that even more. I'll have to try to find better photos. I'm guessing what is this here? That's not supposed to be Dragonstone, is it? Middle right. I mean, we've seen,
know.
well, we haven't seen everything of Dragonstone, right?
Well, if you look at the banners, I mean, they're both red dragons.
Yeah.
On black background. So.
Well, for a second, I thought one was a Blackfire. I'm like, wait a minute, something confused me here. Yeah, so red on the black background. Okay. I mean, it has to be somebody. And then you got dead people over here, I think, but I don't know if they're just playing around. And then you got people on Calvary. Yeah, I said that right. I don't know if those are, because there's one guy who looks bald, and I'm wondering if these are the Kingsguard.
Oh, okay. That would make sense.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, there are 9 of them, and I think you only have 7 Kingsguard. I'm blanking on that. Somebody knows, shoot that out. Top left, I'm guessing that might be in the show. Well, I mean, in the book, you get Adam Valerian. Maybe that's him.
I remember it's one of Corlys's bastards.
Yeah,
sure.
Who gets legitimized. Oh, by the way, everybody, there's going to be spoilers for Dance of Dragons and House of Dragons, so, and probably all of A Song of Ice and Fire, so please don't get mad. I can't tell what this is on the right. It looks like a location, maybe like a war camp. I don't know. Bottom left, boats, so maybe either Dragonstone or what is the Valerian's Island? Driftmark. Yeah, and then you just got some, product placement on the bottom left, a mountain over there, So that's good with that one. But then I had a couple more. Let's see if they're okay. So Adam of Hull, who turns into, gets legitimized into as a Valerian by Corlys after, his son. So spoiler again, in the show, he gets to go away. Lucer? No, what's his name? Corlys' son, the Rhaenyra's husband.
Yep, I know what you mean. Oh God.
It starts with an L. I'm
vitamins
screwing
this
up
morning.
right now. I know. I am shot today. Again, if you know it, let us know in the chat, please. People showed up. Long live Jon Snow. Of course you want that. Long live Jon Snow. I'll say hi to the chat while people remind me. Is it Lucer? Oh my God, why am I blanking? So lovely Sherry is here. We said hi to Soul Assassin. The S in ASMR stands for Sporking. You son of a gun. Let's see. Tim talks. We saw Sonny Frank. Sonny Frank is one of my OG A Song of Ice and Fire fans. And, brethren. It doesn't matter what sex you are.
Laenor was the name you were trying to think of. I had to
that-
Google it. I feel so lame.
I just got it. It was Laenor. Yeah, so I'm always happy to see Sonny. Only comes up usually on my, A Song of Ice and Fire stuff, and I love them for that. Jake D is here. Long time no see, my friend. One of my longest channel members. Thank you for being here. Saturday night was awesome. I went from 16 channel members, and then that night we got 21 more. So I'm just grateful because ever since the demonetization, going from 140 channel members to none, and now we're starting to grow slowly. So I appreciate everyone who came back and everyone who is a channel member. You guys, I don't take it lightly. So thank you. The great Andy from Zombie Box Reviews is here. Guys, make sure you check out his channel. Oh yeah, Sonny, I should have told you it's Laenor. So yeah, Corlys ends up legitimizing Adam of Hull, who's a dragon seed. So that wasn't a child. It was Rhaenyra. It looked like a kid, and it must be her dragon. That's Hugh the Hammer. So that's one of the dragon seeds, and Ulf the White, another one. So that picture of the 4, I believe you were correct. They're probably all dragon seeds. Nettle, Ulf the White, Hugh the Hammer. Because I want to say there's 5 of them. 4, 5.
I don't remember how many there were, but all the pictures I've seen have just been the 4 of them.
So. Okay. But what was
Laenor
that?
Skinner, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. Oh shoot. Right. So, but there's the 4 of these guys. Now, who's the person in the very front of it? Right there. Because if it's 1, 2, 3, don't forget Adam is 4. So whoever this is might be 5. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, not that. Okay. Well, those are all I have of those. So we'll get into some fun theories, people. And anybody has a question, this is a smaller stream, so I will try to keep, and hopefully Tina too. Try to keep our eye on the chat, both on YouTube and on Rumble. And if you guys have something, you question or theory you want to throw out, and if you want us to change the theory and go to your theory, that's a $5 charge. But if you have theories you just want maybe we'll cover, throw them out there. I gotta make money somehow. Okay.
Sorry, Soul. No word on the book yet.
Yeah. Where did he say that? Where the fuck is
it? It says looking for news. Still none on that book completion yet.
That son of a gun. That's true. That is so true. You know what though? Before I share this, oh, you son of a bitch, George. Hold on. Let me just add this because who doesn't love a crying cat? You know what George did today? George.
Uh-oh. I think George has hypnotized Scott and he accidentally clicked the wrong button. What will we talk about? Let's see. Well, we'll say hi to...
That was on me. Sorry about that. Totally.
Clay Thomason, how you doing?
Totally screwed that one. That was a boomer move. Holy crap.
I said George hypnotized you for the moment and had you click the wrong button.
It made me sad. I had to run. No, I'm going to share this one. I can't believe I did that. That was so lame. Okay. This is what George R. R. Martin, I almost did it again. Holy crap. This is what George decided July 10th he wanted to post on. So this is his post for July 10th. And what is it about? Wild cards. Dude, all he does is wild card blogs now. Like, I don't get, like, you know what? You have all these people, I believe, writing other wild card novels. Why don't you have people just write your Song of Ice and Fire novels that you trust? You know, maybe be like the final edit. You get final edit, add what you want to add, but allow them to write maybe like 4 more books. Let it go on for like 4 more, but they come out every 2 years.
Exactly.
I'm sick of it. It's so aggravating. That was my rant for the moment. Let's see. Okay. So let's see. What do we have someone saying here? Zombie says, I heard Cameron Pasha. I always say, do I say his name wrong all the time? I feel so
Cameron
bad.
Pasha.
Is it what?
It's
Pasha,
Cameron
right?
Pasha. Yeah.
Okay. I've streamed with him. The guy's brilliant. We'll be playing the High Sparrow in the new season. Oh, that's great. Game of Thrones, the Monkey Jeebus, Game of Thrones isn't dragons. They are stupid wyverns who act like animals and not intelligent. Okay, so good question. Maybe, you know what? I don't think I could do a poll on Rumble, but I'm going to do a poll on YouTube. And my question is this. Is it... Okay, should dragons have 4 legs or 2? Okay, so don't answer it. Just let me put the poll up first. That was probably dumb of me not to put it first. Start a poll. So dragon legs. 2 or 4? Let's see what we have here. Wow, I spelled everything wrong. I am the worst typer. Dragon, and that's legs. Not logs, legs. Jesus. I'm so professional. All right. Because I believe in House of the Dragon or Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire, aren't they all 2-legged, right? With wings?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
They're all
absolutely.
2-legged with wings. And I think that was George, like, you know, because George in his mind, I want to say I saw an interview with him where he's like, oh, yeah, you know, in nature, most flying animals have 2 legs. It's like, yeah, but this is fantasy, George. But in his mind, you know, it had to have 2. So I don't know. But what do you think? What's better, 2 or 4?
You know what? I because the traditional Chinese dragon has 4 legs and no wings, I always thought of like, okay, that's that kind of dragon, which is more reptilian, and
Right.
the ones that fly are more like birds, so they should only have 2 legs. But it's not like I'm married to one or the other, but that's what I've always thought.
Gotcha. Okay. I can feel that one. I can feel that. I don't know what the hell I just put up. Okay. Wow. I just realized when you said George, you meant George Martin, not George the Giant Slayer. You know what? For a split second when she said it, I thought the same thing. George R. R. Martin, George R. R. Martin is a grifter who will never finish his book because he tested out the ending on the TV show and people didn't like it. So he will he's like, well, I'm effed. lead them on till I die. I agree and disagree with you, Monkey. He had no contact at the end. He gave them maybe 1 or 2 points where things were going to end up, and they just are horrible writers. You know, like Dan and Dave are just horrible writers. They were the most arrogant pricks by the end. Mostly Dave. You know, DB Weiss, whatever, but the other one, right? What's his last name? Dave Douche. No, not Douche.
Oh God, Dan.
Oh no, yeah, Dan. I'm sorry, Dan. Just Dick. He literally went from like the first season, like when they won some awards, being so just overjoyed and proud and like telling stories how, yeah, we went out with Jason Momoa and drank this and that. And by the end, he was like talking like he created the series and the lore and everything himself.
Yeah.
The dude's an idiot.
Well, I think I've most of the interviews I've seen, that Weiss was much quieter throughout the whole process and kind of let it's Lindelof.
You all right?
Benioff.
Benioff. That's it. Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
Of course.
Well, and the funny thing is DB Weiss brought it to Benioff, and I think Benioff is like I think he's like a trust fund kid. His dad is known in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. So it was really DB Weiss's, child, and they both brought it to Martin. But like Weiss or Benioff just took it over. You know what I mean? Like Weiss just went with the ride. And U.S. Dutch Kitty, I believe, you know what? His dragons, his design, his universe, I believe. But some people feel like 4. David Gill says 4. Hey, thank you for being here, David. Soul says 4 legs is a dragon, 2 legs is another species. So D&D ruined the show, and any hopes for Sporks to read the conclusion in the near future? Wow, dude, that's probably more like it. They ruined it. And now I'm not going to get it because he was like, wow, that sucked. And he's focused on everything but. And it's just, I mean, like, okay, like right now I'm just praying he does the She-Wolves of Winterfell when for Duncan Egg.
Yeah.
Like a little novella, just something I can cover. Because literally his books got me back into reading. I never liked reading. I was always a bad reader. I am dyslexic. I have my issues. You could tell when I try to read words. I'm the guy who puts like who and how backwards and don't even realize I wrote the wrong one. But like he got me into loving reading again. Like my wife kept buying me books and I would sit in front, her parents would go away for Christmas or something. And when we were younger, and I would sit in front of their wood burning stove for a week and a half, 2 weeks and read the book through. And back in the day, that would have took a year if I finished,
Yeah. See, my son has, my younger son has dyslexia, and he was the only one in the family who wasn't a big reader. And we've always been into fantasy growing up. I mean, Madeline L'Engle, once I discovered her in like 5th or 6th grade, I was just a lover of reading forever. Mm-hmm. My husband fell in love with the Lord of the Rings books. That was the one for him.
Yep.
And, but thankfully, finally, God bless Rick Riordan when he came along with all of all of his books from all the different, the Greek, the Roman, and the Norse mythologies. He's still to this day.
Are they that
21.
good?
Yeah, he loves them. I would definitely consider them for your daughters when they're ready.
Yeah. How old did you start?
He started in middle school, so I want to say it was like 4th or 5th grade.
Yeah, because my daughter's a pretty strong reader. She's going to be 4th grade, 10. So you'll have to DM me that's some of like the first book I should do.
Absolutely.
Because I'm lazy and I don't want to write it down right now. Monkey Jeebus. Yeah. Hedge Knight was the first book, but I'm talking about like the next book is supposed to take place in Winterfell, where it's during a time where the Lord of Winterfell, and I believe his son passed away, and mostly it's being run by women and like having young children and kind of like AIDS. And they're all trying to try to get power through this, like that. It was one of the most turmoil times in the Stark history. But we're probably not going to get it. So let's talk House of the Dragon, because at least maybe he'll have his fingers in that a little bit. Because the guy is brilliant. He's brilliant. I mean, when he writes, I personally think he's brilliant. Every long ass description of a person's eyes and doublet or whatever you want to call it. it turns out to mean something later on the line, down the line. So you really got to pay attention. So this is from Bustle. And these are some of their, so this is the one I hate the most. Lucerys' death, he actually survived. So this is a theory I've seen on multiple sites. Still reeling after Lucerys' death. If you're an optimist, there's a chance that he might have survived Aemond Vhagar's violent attack. In Fire and Blood, it's generally believed that Lucerys did die. Either he was swallowed by Vhagar, which I believe, or his body washed up on the shore of Storm's End. However, there is some ambiguity. In the same paragraph, George R. R. Martin mentions in Universe claims that Lucerys survived the attack but lost his memory in the fall and spent the rest of his days as a fisherman. I don't know if I noticed that in the book. Did you?
I don't remember that part at all.
Yeah, me either. And they're saying in the same paragraph, George R. R. Martin mentions in universe. I don't remember. Like, I thought that was something people might, like, they prayed for. Like, okay, he fell.
Exactly.
Lost his memory. Like, not that even could happen. But you got people saying, me waiting for Lucerys to reappear because I just knew he survived that somehow. Good luck to Lucerys on his new journey as a fisherman. So, I just, to me, that's the one thing I love about Martin's writing is no one is safe. And when people die, they're dead. There's rarely somebody who makes it through it. Like maybe the gravedigger theory, in the main story. But other than that, you're probably dead.
Exactly. I mean, it makes me think of maybe, because of you kind of equate it to, our time in history. Yeah. I could see a bunch of people saying, oh, this kid just showed up and, has no memory of his family. It happened around the same time. So it's now the legend of Storm's End that, Lucerys survived.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he doesn't look like a Targaryen. So if you never saw him before, he just looked like a normal kid. Mm-hmm. So you never know. But I think it would suck. This person put Lucerys Valerian died with his dragon. The prince was 13 years of age. His body was never found. And with his death, the war of ravens and on envoys and marriage pacts came to an end, and the war of fire and blood began in earnest. Oh, excuse me for a second. Do you mind just speaking for a moment? Because I got to turn off my dehumidifier.
Not a problem.
I'm so professional.
Well, as Soul Assassin says, please smash that like button. And good question, E. Clay Tomlinson. When does the next season drop? They're not done filming it, so I don't think there is a release date, but I will attempt to check. Dragon Season 2 release date. Nope, it does not look like there is a word. It's not expected until sometime in 2024. So that is very, very sad. Very sad to say. And I agree. I do not think that Lucerys survived. But I could honestly see it being a rumor. I mean, because we've had that happen in history of England that, they've always thought that, the two children that the boys in the towers. Yeah.
Is that England or is that France? In France, but English.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick, Rumble, we have like 7-8 people watching. That is awesome. Guys, please hit the thumbs up. Even if you stay for a minute and just listen, follow the channel because Rumble, you guys support everybody. So support me over there because YouTube hates me. So you guys probably would like me. And join us Saturday nights for the dump. And then over on YouTube, I love you guys over there, not the tube itself. And we have like 14 people watching over there. So thank you very much. So, yeah, we're going to go on to the next one. A different character gets revenge on Aemon. Like, wait a minute. What? So instead of it. Okay, so again, spoiler. It's going to be a spoiler filled. It's Daemon who gets revenge, and it's an awesome fight. It's going to be somebody else because why? Matt Smith everyone loves him? I don't know. Let's see. Let me read this and I'll get your thoughts there, Tina. Okay, but let's say Lucerys really is dead, which is probably is. In the books, Daemon avenges him by killing Aemon in a duel aboard their respective dragons. Sadly, he's reported lost his own life in the process, but according to several Twitter users, it would be a sweet twist of events if someone else like Aemon killed Aemon, like Rainey. Yeah,
Rhaena
Rainy.
Targaryen.
Rhaena Targaryen. So that's the older queen that never was. So this person said, oh no, wait a minute. Is that the daughter?
Oh, that would make sense
Oh,
because
that's the daughter.
didn't she say
Yeah.
that Vagar that he took her mother's
Yes.
dragon anyway,
Yes.
so that would be
Yes.
her revenge?
That one-eyed menace keeps stealing everything from her. I need to see her draw blood. You know what? This book or this show has already veered from the main story in some places. So I don't consider it like, first of all, the book is like a textbook anyways. So I don't consider it like part of the official canon, even though they're trying to tell us like this is the actual, like what happened. But that would be kind of cool if she takes him out and maybe even survives but loses her eye.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Whatever. But it needs to still be an awesome fight. We'll finally see Alicent and Viserys. Missing child. I mean, Daron is the fourth child we never saw in season 1. But I know we're guaranteed to see him. I believe they casted somebody. So it's not much of a theory. Oh, okay. He comes into play on House of the Dragon in the future. He does exist. Condell is the main showrunner. No worries, everybody. He's the youngest son. He's warded off at Old Town to Hobart Hightower and soon to Ormond Hightower, who is Hobart's nephew, who becomes Lord of Old Town when he is relevant to be mentioned, and he will be mentioned. Okay.
And it kind of makes sense. I mean, this is about the time you would say, well, I don't want any of my kid anywhere near a high tower. Get him home.
Mm-hmm. A Targaryen, but even though they are high towers, you know what I mean? Like, so
exactly.
And a lot of I can't imagine people are just blaming out. Like, they wouldn't blame the series. He died. He was great king. That was awesome. I like that character better than the book character. Patty did an amazing job with that character, but most people see those kids as Alicent's. You know what I mean?
That's true. Very true.
So Reddit, whatever, suggests that Daron could be a way to introduce Old Town, which would be freaking dope from the perspective of someone who lives. Oh my God, I would love to see Old Town. You kind of see it, right? In the main story, doesn't Sam see it from a hill?
Yes. And you see the outside of the big, oh gosh, I'm bad with this. Is it the big building?
Well, is it the high tower, or you're talking like the Citadel or something like that? Like,
I was talking about the Citadel. Is what I was thinking.
Yeah. Like, but I think they just didn't give it enough. So it says waiting to introduce Old Town in all of its glory and give us a good account of the city that we never got in Game of Thrones. I think that's important because, the high towers are kind of big in this story. Let me jump to the chat and see if anybody said anything. I don't care if they changed the book because the book is effed up. I wouldn't mind a happier ending. Yeah, why not? I'm going to head off to bed later, buddy. Good to see you. Guys, make sure you check out Andy's channel. Good guy. So, all right, you want to read this one? I feel like I'm only talking. I hate when I do that to people.
Aegon's kids really aren't his. Dun dun. Speaking of kids, Reddit editor Southern Dig 9460 proposes that the real father of Helena's twins, Jaehaerys and Jaehaera, is not Aegon but Aemon. When they were kids, Aemon said he'd be happy to marry Helena. It would keep the bloodline pure. The user puts out, Aegon found the idea repulsing. Interesting. Southern Dig 9460 points out several other clues about Aemon and Helena's theorized affair, adding that it would give House of the Dragon even more thematic significance if true. Hypocrisy seems to be a theme the writers of the show are trying to convey for the Greens. They write, and what's more hypocritical than their king having bastards that are next in line, or Aegon and Helena having an open marriage like Rhaenyra's was.
Yeah,
that is interesting.
That is interesting. I'll give him that. That is definitely interesting. Because there is that. I mean, there is him, Aemon, like telling her, like, I think he had a thing for her. It seemed like he had a thing for her as a child. That's a very Targaryen thing to do. That would be cool because Aegon, I mean, the dude just whores around.
Exactly.
So like, why not those be his, his brother's kids? That'd be awesome. Bastards.
That do like that.
Yeah. A new character will come between Rhaenyra and Daemon. In Fire and Blood, Nettles is a young dragon rider who is rumored to have an affair with Daemon, causing Rhaenyra to call for the girl to be killed. Reddit user Adorabella88, however, hopes that the on-screen iteration of Nettles' character will have a purely platonic relationship with Daemon and be wholeheartedly devoted to the Black's Rhaenyra. When Rhaenyra becomes paranoid of the pair's closeness, this will be Daemon's tipping point. What? Another person suggests that Nettles and Daemon might actually end up together too, even though Daemon is believed to fall to his death after killing Aemon. Clearly, there are a lot of ambiguous deaths in Fire and Blood. These people are just like, that's fan fiction. Like, he's gonna live.
Oh yeah.
Like
absolutely.
Right. Do you think, okay, I don't mind if they change that he's not the one that fights Aemon, but do you, like me, believe if he fights Aemon, he needs to go out like he did in the book?
I mean, I don't think necessarily. I mean, I think that was an epic death and should
Mm-hmm.
remain that way. The part of this that I'm not careful with is I don't see Damon saying, okay, forget family, forget everything. I'm just going to go run off with this dragon seed.
Right.
And that's it. Considering he was always the one that was kind of pushing his brother to, to be tougher and fight for the family and fight
Right.
for what's right.
Amen to that. And then, like, also, I mean, we know what happens to Rhaenyra. I'm wondering how slow they're going to take. They rushed the first season, jumping decades.
Mhm.
But now, I mean, the dance is only like 2 years, if that. So you're going to have to slow it down greatly if you want to get a couple seasons out of this. So, I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah, they're going to have to add filler.
But then maybe they only want to do one show at a time. So maybe they're thinking, House of the Dragon is only going to go for 4-5 seasons tops. And
Right.
that by then, at least Snow will be ready to come out as soon as House of the Dragon ends.
Freaking please. Oh no, Snow. I was thinking winter.
Oh, sorry.
It's not really fan fiction. He lives. There was talk. Well, I mean, they never found the body. Right. And that was over the God's Eye. So some people actually thought maybe he ended up on the Isle of Faces. The Green Men took him in. Again, this is supposed to be canon. This is supposed to be like not, what's his name? The little guy, not Mushroom or not the other maester that wrote like his opinion of the dance. Like
Gotcha.
This is supposed to be like the actual, that's what at least they said in interviews. This is actually what happened, which kind of pissed me off when they said that. Because, I don't know. Kristen Cole is much bigger douche than I thought he ever could be. We had 19 votes and 2 legs wins by a narrow voting. 52 to 47 with 4 legs. All right. So, it's up in the air. I like it's his world. It's his call. Let's see. Okay, that was that
It's
one.
your turn.
Yeah, no. Stop you. Stop you. We might be jumping through a couple of these because I just threw up 10 that I saw and noticed there was a couple differences. So this is from Fossbites. Fossbites. And this is from October 25th, 2022. So this has been a while. But it is for season 2 theories. So the first one is Lars Strong will become the new warg. I think we talked about that in a live stream before, haven't we?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Like, I don't even know if he'll be a warg. He might be a green seer.
Oh, interesting. I like that.
Because we always notice, like, in private conversations in bedrooms and stuff, a rat run by. So I was always wondering if he skin changed into a rat. Because a warg would only be a direwolf.
Right.
Skin changers can go into different animals. Green seers are, 1 in 10,000 skin changers is a green seer, or warg is a green seer. So like that would be, I mean, he has the bloodline. He has the first man's blood, the Strongs. It would be interesting.
That would be cool, especially since they took so much of the mystic out of Game of Thrones. It would be great to, bring more of that into Fire and Blood, which didn't have as much because it was trying to be a historical, like almost like an encyclopedia.
Right. But I mean, the Dance with Dragons, even though it's a textbook. I mean, that's insane how many dragons there were. Like, give us the fantasy. You know, and I know George is a little light on fantasy. He doesn't want to, he's the type that like time turners in Harry Potter. Like, he doesn't want something that can control, like totally screw up the story. Like a time turner could change everything in Harry Potter.
Exactly.
You know, so
that's the easy way out, kind of like when we talk about the MCU or and the
DC.
fact that, exactly, you got the TVA, you can, go through time, you can change anything.
So everybody, Tina just now admitted Loki is terrible. So
but it will be really important for when Deadpool 3 comes out.
No, it won't. It might be, actually. It might be. We can talk about that another night. I'm looking forward to Deadpool. I'm looking forward to Deadpool. And even though like Secret Invasion is not great, it's passable at the moment. There are some things that are bothering me a bit, but it's kind of just like a slow burn. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, I've gotten a little lighter on my anger. So I'll be able to allow some things to slide. How Strong is one of the most elite houses in the prequel series. However, Lars Strong is the lone survivor among them. After killing his father and brother, he is the only ruler left for Harrenhal. The cunning man has his connections and rats all over Westeros, so fans believe he will learn about the old gods through them. Moreover, I would think he would already know, being a Strong, and I believe the Strongs are of First Men bloodline, so I don't know. I think he would already know of them. But anyways, moreover, he will also gain knowledge about the power of seeing through animals' eyes. The same ability was used by Bran. No shit. All right, we don't have to read that part because all of you people are smart. Yeah, I think that's a cool
a question.
One. Okay,
it says, wasn't magic gone in the Game of Thrones era?
Yes, it was very, very, very. If there was any magic, it was weak, because people who say it was gone, but you still had the Three-Eyed Crow. You still had what's that woman who appears to Dany every once in a while? Veiled face or wooden.
Oh yeah. Oh
my God, why am I blanking on her name? But you had like her still around. So there was little sporadic things of magic, but once they say the dragons, but it could have been the dragons or the White Walkers. Once one of those or both of those came back, yes, then magic came back. Okay. So the death of the dragons really took a hit on magic.
Makes sense.
The actor who plays Cole says he's a big asshole. That's great. Tina, did you see the Wolverine pics? The Deadpool Twitter channel has been releasing a bunch. Oh, Soul, DM those to me so we could maybe talk about them at the very end. I kind of want to see that. So back to this. Makers will explore more events from the history of Westeros.
Okay, that's...
Yeah,
that's cool.
Like flashbacks. While House of the Dragon is set 200 years before the original series, we still do not know the beginning of the Iron Throne. The makers have the opportunity to show glimpses of some of the most critical events in Westeros history. GOT could not cover this front in their story, but the current prequel, I guess they can adapt, like, I don't know, a story of a series told Rhaenyra about about Maegor and some, in addition, we can also witness the remarkable decision of King Jerry. Yeah, like stories that she remembers, and they'll just do a flashback of that.
That would be cool.
Okay, this next one sounds dumb. Justifying Daenerys' character arc? Look at that shit in her face. Look at her. She's so beautiful, and she looks so ugly right there.
I know.
It's terrible. How did you feel about her arc in the original series, TV series?
I was heartbroken because, of course, I followed, all of the rumors and I remember, we're sitting down watching it, and I'm going at 7 minutes, and I'm like, oh damn, that's true. And like 13 minutes in, oh my God, that's true too. And I think it was maybe like at the 20-minute mark where I said, all right, honey, I give up. The whole thing's gonna end like they said it was. This is horrible.
So terrible. It was so terrible. Like the bells made her go off. For people that only really watch the series and not read the books, in the books, there's a character by the name of John Connington who has a chance of defeating Robert Baratheon before he becomes king during his rebellion in this town. But he screws it up, and they ring the bells after Ned's army finally reaches that town, like, because they won. So they're ringing bells all over the city. And that, for him, the sound of bells is a defeat. And that's why maybe he'll go on some weird killing spree, because he also has grayscale. But Dany, like, the best of her life was during her with the Dothraki. And bells mean what, Tina?
Victory.
Victory. Victory.
Absolutely.
So why would she hear bells and be like, I'm going to kill everybody? Like, it was dumb. Dumb. So how are they going to, like, get this? Let's see. Got last season did not conclude on good terms. Moreover, it left fans with many questions. And one such dilemma was Daenerys burning down the ancient Red Keep and her ancestors' Red Keep and its citizens. While many fans believe that she got this trait from her twisted father, King Aerys, the second, it is still not a satisfactory answer. No, it wasn't. So the makers can justify it in Hot D by showing how Targaryens were always like this, and sometimes they have to make these tough calls. It will be honestly a treat for fans. You know what? It's not a loophole, because we know that there have been times where, like, the Conqueror, he gave people an opportunity, and when they didn't, he turned, the field of fire, burned tens of thousands, even maybe closer to 100,000 of men. Like, we know they can do that, but they do it calculated. Like, there are only a couple that were crazy. Even Maegor, calculated,
Yeah, and there's nothing calculated about killing a bunch of innocent people. I mean,
after you won.
She was told by Jon and everyone, like, the city will be yours if we can,
These are your people. Like,
It
wasn't even she went for the Red Keep. She burnt the whole city first. Like, that was just dumb. I'm sorry. I can't.
I mean, because I could see her still wanting to go and kill Cersei.
Yeah,
like, she doesn't know if she's she doesn't know if she's dead or anything yet, so she's gonna go right to the Red Keep and and kick some butt. But
you just torch it. I can understand. And anybody in there, sorry, you're with her. Burn it down. But the peasants, come on. That was dumb. Excuse me for a second. Too much seltzer. Fans believing Lord Corlys will not die because of his injuries. No, he won't. The Lord Corlys, aka the Sea Snake, is the most powerful and influential man in Westeros. He was recently not present in the last episode due to his injuries. However, the final gave us a glimpse of his courage and honesty. With his support, the Blacks will now rule the narrow seas without hassle. However, fans speculate that Lord Corlys will not die because of his bad health. They believe that the Greens will get him assassinated during the war. Oh, okay. Whatever. Okay. I mean, we know he lives for a while, right? He legitimizes, the so-called bastard of Laenor. He sticks around for a while. He's big on the Stepstones and what's going to happen with Essos and the Triad. That's Lyse. Oh God, Lys. What are the three in the Triad? Crap, I'm blanking. Lys, somebody else, forming a naval army to take over the Stepstones, because that pretty much controls the sea right there and all of Westeros, really. If you control Stepstones, even far north in Braavos, it'll affect you on Essos side. So you could tell why. I was wondering if Braavos we would see Braavosi, pirates or naval people helping out the Blacks on that side of it. I wonder how deep they'll get into that, Let's see. Introducing Viserys and Alicent's fourth child. We already went over that. More flashbacks and time jumps. Why would they do it? You can't do a time jump. The makers given us intriguing scenes, but they have also cut down some of them. For example, we did not get to see Alicent and Viserys' wedding and many others. However, fans believe that all these were intentionally cropped out from the series. Now these will be, as flashbacks in the upcoming season. That's a good idea. And also you could bring back those younger actors that people really liked. So that's actually a good idea. I don't think they did it for flashback reasons. I think they did it because they wanted to make sure they had a great first season so they would get greenlit for a second and third. But
Exactly.
that would be awesome if they were able to go back and show stuff we missed. I don't know. Give me
No,
as
I think
much as
that
you
would be
want.
very cool.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll-
Especially the younger actors. I mean,
They
I mean,
were
I,
great.
I can't, yeah, I can't complain about, the ones that play the adults because I always
No.
forget their names, of course. But
Yeah.
I thought the younger actresses were just so amazingly well cast.
Oh, they were. They were great. This girl and the girl who plays Rhaenyra, fantastic. They were really good. You felt for this girl. You felt for her. They were both cute too. Fans will meet more dragons. Of course we will. Of course we will.
Because they mentioned that they even think that we're going to meet the 2 dragons that didn't get riders.
Oh, right. Yeah. Because there are 2 that didn't. Whatever happened with them? Did they live?
I don't know if they lived, but I know that they were part of the battles. So
right.
They fought, even though they
but without a
were
rider,
riderless.
right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dragons are essential characters in Game of Thrones. The first season introduced us to many new big beasts, and the upcoming season will bring an army of them. Yes. Damon naming all unclaimed dragons. The makers have also mentioned that the series will have 17 dragons throughout all the seasons. And I want to say there was, before the dance, 22 to 24 dragons. So I don't know why we're only going to have 17. Yeah. But hey, I'm down. Helena will provide more premonitions in the second season. Yeah, they did.
Definitely.
Yeah, they didn't. I felt like they didn't use her enough. I think she also has a very sad story. So, and they're going to go there. They have to. Princess
Helena is the most spooky character in the series. We have seen her playing with mysterious insects and reciting dragon poems to them. However, the 9th episode showed Helena predicting the future. Her premonitions about Aemon's eye and Rhaenyra's attacks were accurate. Moreover, fans believe that the second season will have more of these prophecies and will be helpful for the Greens. Absolutely. Oh God, I love her character. Yeah, it's great.
It's a heartbreaking character too,
exactly.
But it's a great character. Yeah. Again, it's only 2 years, so I don't know how they're going to stretch this, but there is a lot of there are events you can build up to, but going back to that other one, you're gonna need those flashbacks to spread this out more. I think that's
so.
actually a smart idea.
And maybe as Rhaenyra and Alicent, are thinking about things, in the war, they can kind of have those flashbacks of, their relationship or the parts in their childhood that impacted the way they're making decisions now and second guessing themselves.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. It'll be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. Definitely. Let's see. We also have, they're going to introduce new characters. Now, I don't know how many of the Starks they're going to show in this. Maybe the last season, you'll definitely get the Starks, but we already saw one, right? We saw Cregan Stark at the naming ceremony. There are many new characters like Cregan Stark, Lord of Winterfell, and Warden of North, with whom Jace will meet at Winterfell. Moreover, Jace will also meet Jane Arryn. In addition to this, there will be new dragon riders like Hugh Hammer, Ulf White, and Nettles. Right. Does Jace marry Jane Arryn? I don't remember. I don't remember that.
Think so.
I know he likes her. I just can't remember. Yeah, I mean, Cregan Stark, again, he was already seen. He's a big part of the end of the war. That's where we get the Hour of the Wolf, callbacks in other parts of the history. He lays down the law, and it's pretty cool. So I can't wait to see that, but that can't be very soon. And they don't take part in the war. So.
I cheated and looked it up, and it says Jane never married, but instead named her younger sister Alyssa Arryn as her heir.
Okay. I thought he felt something for her, but maybe I was wrong on that. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. What I do know is that the Starks stay out of the war. They don't get involved into the very end. So like the whole North stays out. So I don't know why they're saying we're going to meet all these new characters, because that would mean pretty much we only get 2 seasons of this show, which I
Well,
doubt.
maybe they're going to show
Yeah.
Jace visiting Winterfell, and that's where they're going to say we're going to see
Okay.
meet some more Starks, just to throw names to faces, or the other way around. Sorry, faces to names.
Shit, that was smart. That was smart. And she is smart, everybody. If you're on Rumble, hit the like button, because Tina is smart and I am a little slow. And also, please follow me over on Rumble. We just hit 350 this weekend, trying to get up to 400 followers over there. And on YouTube, we're trying to get to 6,000, but on our way to 10K. So please follow us. I'd rather you support me over on Rumble right about now. But I appreciate either at the moment. But if Rumble ever takes off, adios, YouTube.
Well, I try to be a balance, so I try to let
Yeah.
my brains kind of take over for the fact that I have such bad takes.
Yeah.
Make that balance a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. You're balanced. I'll say that. Okay, so this is another one of the who will avenge him. So let's see what they think. According to some fans, Daemon and Mysaria will plot different scheming as revenge. Okay, so it won't be the original one. So we hope all the important theories have been covered. I don't know. Again, if Daemon's involved, you have to go with him. He goes out in a blaze of glory.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So we got a couple more.
Oh, sorry.
No, I just saw this.
That's funny.
To each
I think
their
it's
own.
cool for the. I think it's cool for them to spend a lot of time with the Starks at the end, because if that's truly the plan, that
Mhm.
they're gonna have Snow pick up right after
Right.
House of the Dragon, then it would be a nice way to kind of bring everybody, like, hey, remember those Stark people?
Right. When do we get the next season? Is it 2024?
Yeah, sometime in 2024.
Well, with the
but they
writer
didn't-
strike, did they finish filming? I don't know. Like if they have a set, let me ask you this, because I think I'm correct on this, but I might not be. If you already have a set script and make no changes, you could film.
That is correct, and that's why
Okay.
they're saying that they might be running into trouble with Deadpool,
Right, 'cause
because,
he-
as you know, Ryan Reynolds, ad libs a lot
Yeah.
of the stuff. So
I'm sorry, guys. I'm just speaking my truth. Dude, you're welcome here. We don't take things personally. I don't have to agree with you. You do not have to agree with me. Just be respectful of other people. That's all I care about. But we could disagree and have fun doing it. Thoughts on Dunk and Egg. I really hope, we were just talking about that earlier. I really hope we at least get the She-Wolves of Winterfell book out, the novella, because I'm really looking forward to seeing what happened in that period where the Lord and sons died, and these young kids and second cousins and their mothers and their grandmothers and their aides are all trying to kind of like Targaryen the North, like it's all scheming and stuff. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. And also Dunk laying some pipe to old Nan.
And you know what? I mean, I think you could take it even compared to like modern times, about the fact that, when guys fight, they fight and then it's over with. They can have a treaty with them
Easily.
for the next battle. But women, we fight like cats. I mean, we
Yep.
hold a vengeance forever. Everything's emotional and vindictive. So
Yep.
sometimes I think, I don't want to make it sound woke, but sometimes I think that the stories about women and the way they wage war is far more interesting.
Yeah.
in some
Like
ways.
how they ruined it again in the last few seasons of Game of Thrones. Like,
Mhm.
the oh God, Mary the Frog? No, the Cersei's
Yes, the one who
yeah,
gave her the
prophecy. Was it Mary? Whatever. It's the frog lady. She did say a younger, more beautiful queen will come and take everything from you, take it all, and where Cersei always thought it was Marjorie, but
Mhm.
they never solved that with. It was supposed to, you believe it's Sansa who's going to destroy her and take everything, but they don't have that happen. Like,
Right.
give me that stuff. Give me more like of this female, because that would have been cool to see how far she came and how sly and ruthless she could be.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
That's another story I almost want to find out more about how Sansa rules than how Arya what she discovers
Yeah.
west of
Who
Westeros.
cares? I hope she falls off a ledge. I would watch, even though I didn't like the character in the show, I would watch a Sansa ruling, and I'm wondering if she will be in Snow. At least maybe not in the first season, but you can't tell me there's not going to be communications between Jon Snow in the north and his sister who rules the north of Westeros. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
no, that makes some perfect sense.
Hey, Sam, you want to come on and talk? Feel free. I think you know this stuff, right? Forgot about Maggie, not Mary. Maggie the frog. Thank you, brother. There was a study, and in medieval times, Queen made more war than kings. I wouldn't doubt that. You had Queen Mary of Scots and Queen Elizabeth that drove their countries to almost civil war.
Exactly.
You know, yeah, that's absolutely. And women suck.
Yeah, I think honestly, Queen Victoria is the one that changed it all because she had so many children. They call her the grandmother of Europe because she arranged so many marriages to kind of stop all this.
Right.
that had
Even
happened.
into Russia. I believe some of her, even into Russia. I believe the last Tsar's wife was a relative of hers. RDJ said if women were in charge, there would be no fighting. He's adorably ignorant. Yeah, dude, I heard that too. He just wants his job in Hollywood. It's so, maybe he believes it. He was one of those freaky deaky 80s guys. I don't know.
It's really tough. I mean, because of course, I mean, you can, as a mother, I can totally agree with the idea that, no mother would want to send her son or daughter, into war to die and all that. But I also know that, hey, if somebody killed my son or daughter, you better, be prepared because I'm coming after you.
Right.
So,
Or if you don't send your son or daughter into war, your whole family will die.
exactly.
Yeah, these people that think war can be, you can't just stop it. Sorry. Sorry, John Lennon, look what happened, bro. You don't even,
Exactly.
it's kind of ironic. So yeah, Zach's or Sam, I'll send you the link. I thought you guys were in that chat, but if you want to come on, let me know. Queen Mary of Scott, Queen Mary the First, Queen Matilda. Yeah, Queen Eleanor of what is that?
Aquitaine.
Yeah, why don't you read the rest because I suck.
Margaret of Anjou and plenty of real life she-wolf queens. Absolutely, Sam. That's a good one.
That's a good one. I love boosh. All right, let's go on to the next one. We got two more to get through before we talk about the dance a little bit. We've only been on for an hour, so we're good. Let's see. This is CBR. This was back in October 26th of 2022. It's almost like they all put it out at the same time. 10 House of the Dragon season 2 theories we hope come true. Okay, so these are hopes. Number 10, Rhaenyra will avenge Lucerys. Okay. In the season 1 finale, after being told of her son's death, Rhaenyra is visibly upset and angry. It reminded fans of Daenerys right before she burned King's Landing. It's completely different. Completely different, but okay. To the ground in Game of Thrones. As such, it seems likely that Rhaenyra will no longer hold any reluctance towards war and allow the battle to commence. Dude, if you don't know the story and you don't mind, I won't spoil. Generally, she becomes a badass. She's ruthless. She's a Targaryen and she's a queen. She's doing what she needs to stop what she thinks is a coup. So, yeah, and they just killed one of the heirs. Rhaenyra has suffered so much loss throughout House of Dragon. She lost 2 of her children in one episode, as well as her father and the Iron Throne. Fans hope that season 2 will have Rhaenyra avenge her son's death, which will increase the tension in House of the Dragon. All right, well, we've kind of talked on that. Stark's role in the war. So this was Cregan Stark right here. I wish he looked a little more tough.
Oh, can you share the picture?
Oh, shit. Wow. Thank you, guys. That was that one. Oh, yeah. Mommy, son, love. It's one of those weird, porns. Taboo.
That scene was so sad for me. Just
was
the goodbye
rough.
because you know what's going to happen.
If you already knew, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say, the actress I'm not a huge fan of, but she's fantastic in the role.
Mm-hmm.
the way she was trying to conduct herself and like hold the men back from just going into war. And then finding out her son dies in that switch. Like she's no longer like, it's fire and blood, man. It's fire and blood.
I
Blood
think
and fire.
right there explains it kind of explains the whole there wouldn't be war if women were in charge. No, wait a minute. She started with the sure, I don't want to sacrifice anybody. I don't want anybody to get hurt. But wait, you know, you struck the first blow. Now, you know,
right.
All hands are off.
Sit-ins for Siths. I love that name. Sithis. As much as I love Gurm, this stuff isn't. Oh no, he always says it's shades of gray. And I love that about his writing. People you like, you hate something about them sometimes. You know, you look at Jaime Lannister, he's the blonde-haired, you know, Prince Charming at the beginning, and he turns out to be the biggest scumbag. Cheers for the invite. I'll sit this one out. I need a Song of Ice and Fire refresher. That's cool. I just feel like you and your brother hate me. Whatever. It's cool though. Whatever. Love you guys. Blood and cheese. Yeah, definitely. They don't bring them in. Come on. That changes everything. Oh, you're off to bed, man. All right. Where are you? 3:00. Are you new to my channel? I'm glad you like it. Please subscribe. And if you are one of the 25% of people that don't subscribe, please do. I really could use your help. It's just a click and subscribe to Tina. Please, Jesus.
Yeah, I joke that I might consider making a video if I get up to 50 subscribers. So that would be cool.
You gotta make a video.
At like, you know, yeah, I'm somewhere around 40, 41 maybe. So.
If you make it to 100, we're doing a live stream.
Damn straight.
Okay. All right. That's my new push on Saturday nights. We're going to get you to 100. Always boosh. Smash that like button. Thank you, brother. Sam Hale. Oh, it's a soul assassin. Emma D. Archie really likes playing the role of a woman. Oh, you're in the Netherlands. Okay.
Very cool.
Well, welcome. Thank you. And please, again, if you have a moment, subscribe over Tina. She doesn't have anything out yet, but she is an awesome person and one of the best in the chat. And now that my Jane is gone, I have to accept it. And I need Tina for support. No, Jane said,
I will support you, but never live up to her.
Yeah, no, I mean,
she
none
sets
of us
the standard high.
She did for all people. But she said she will be joining us on Monday nights when she has a chance because we're talking about things we like. Even if we bag it, we're talking about things we like. So I can't wait to see her. But like Oberyn's face. I love that. Okay. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Stark's role. It's unclear how much the Starks will feature in the Dance of Dragons, but fans hope that they will have a big role. Due to their role in Game of Thrones, the family is incredibly popular and any reference to them is welcome. And just like Tina, if you could repeat what you said, how we would get them in this season.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we introduce them, obviously, when Jace goes to go treat with them. And then we kind of attach some faces to the names that we've heard about in history. And then once they become involved in the war toward the end of the series, it's a great introduction then to say, oh, by the way, have you forgotten Jon Snow? Here you go. Here's a new series all about these people we just visited.
That's awesome. And I think it'll be cool. We'll get to see, you know, Winterfell 200 years prior, how it looks. Is it different? You know, like I'm kind of looking forward to that. Okay. Next, let's see. Rhaenyra will perform her duty in battle. Oh, no shit. At the beginning of season 1, Aemma, thank you, told Rhaenyra that she has a royal womb and must perform her duty to the realm in the birthing potential heirs and continuing on the Targaryen name. However, Rhaenyra tells her mother that she would rather serve as a knight and ride to battle in glory. Fans are hoping that season 2, this will come to pass. The Greens and Blacks will fight over the throne, and Rhaenyra will ride her Draxon Syrax into battle in keeping with her rule-breaking and rebellious personality. I mean, is it rule-breaking? I mean, we had the Conqueror and his sisters. We have Rhaenys. Like, it's not rule-breaking. It's pretty much like you're expected to, right?
Exactly. Absolutely.
I would think so. New characters. Okay, we got the new characters one. We did that already. He's not dead. Wow, is everybody following this not dead thing? Come on. All right. Jacaerys will be successful in his mission. So that's what you were talking about. He's going to see Jacaerys will meet Lady Jane Arryn and Lord Cregan Stark. Lady Arryn is related to the Targaryens through Rhaenyra's mother, Aema Arryn. Due to their shared blood, Jacaerys should be successful in his mission to the Vale, and considering the reputation of the Starks being oath keepers, Jace's luck should continue there. There are also theories about the connection Jace may make on his travel to these distant lands. Connections. Daemon will lead the Black. Okay, first of all, we kind of went over all this. He will get the Vale involved. He'll get the Starks. Well, the North stays out of it, but the Vale may not. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure the Vale may get involved. So, I don't know. What do you think?
It's hard for me to remember because
I know
Fire
it's
and
been a
Blood
while.
was such a long book and there was so much covered.
Right, and half of it I was like, I got to reread that because I wasn't paying attention. Daemon will lead the Blacks. I actually got it audible because I was like, dude, I can't reread that again. Like, I'll just listen to it. Rhaenyra contested Daemon's idea to use their dragons against the Greens, but considering her anger after her son's death, it is likely that she will allow him to lead. Daemon will gather every dragon he can find and mentioned having 13 dragons to the Greens 4. They need all the riderless dragons and more riders, and then potential hatch the eggs Daemon has hidden to gain full force. Daemon is a very chaotic character, and some would say that he would not perform well as a leader in the war due to his quick... Oh, no, wait a minute. He would. Wait a minute. Yeah, say that he would not perform well as a leader in war due to his quick thinking, volatile... Thank you, behavior, and rashness. Fan theories disagree, however, as Daemon is a natural-born leader, has led many victories before, and could lead a win in this war too. I mean, Stepstones, he did get a victory, but in the series, he wasn't doing well until he got upset about his brother, and then he went and pretty much did a suicide run. So We'll see how good he'll be. What do you think?
I mean, I still think that Rhaenyra is the brains of the whole thing, and along with dipping into Corlys's history of waging battles, even though it's on the sea and not in the air. But I really think that those two are the more strategic folks. Where Daemon is your okay, we've planned what needs to happen. Now we need you to go in and just go crazy. Because you're either the distraction or you're the one who needs to do the tough deed that nobody else wants to do.
Well, we all agree that the dragons are nuclear bombs.
Oh yeah,
they are
absolutely.
closest thing too. And he is, he's like that crazy pilot in that movie riding the bomb down, with the cowboy hat. I forget what movie that is, but somebody out there might know. I could see him being that guy. So yeah, but I think he's also grown since then. He also, lost a wife, lived abroad, had children, lost a wife, gained a new wife and more children. I actually think, he is more considerate, but he's still hot tempered because he acts like a prince. He is, the series didn't act like a king. He acts more like a king. It's my way or the highway, say her name is
Rhaena.
Rhaena. Okay.
Laena,
yeah, go for it.
And Rhaena follows Laena in Rhaenys footsteps.
All right, here you go. Because my throat's
So Rhaena Targaryen has lost her mother's dragon to Aemond and now lost her betrothed Lucerys to him as well. She may be young, but she has her mother's spirit within her. Laena was a fierce dragon rider who rode the largest dragon alive and died an honorable death. Rhaena's grandmother, has proved to be just as fearless and bold as her daughter, and fans hope that Rhaena follows in both of their footsteps by riding a dragon and becoming formidable. Fans theorize that Rhaena gets revenge against Aemon one way or another, and that she finds happiness after enduring so much loss.
If they are going to switch it, I think that would be a cool way to go. She
Absolutely.
did say that you stole my mom's dragon, I think that's pretty cool. So I'm fine with it.
She's got the lineage. She's got the women that she can look up to.
Right. I'm fine with it if it's not. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm fine with it if it's not canon.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because we already have the book.
Exactly.
But they said it's canon, so I don't know. I'm so confused.
Daemon is in an epic fight with Aemon.
Okay.
Well, I think, according to the books, not a spoiler, but this does happen.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, we really don't have to read that one. That's definitely that's definitely a big one. And number one, Alicent and Rhaenyra acknowledge the subtext. Are they talking about their?
Yep, more than Elena's.
Are you kidding me?
Rhaenyra and Alicent's relationship is more than a friendship. They have many interactions in the show that seem to be more like that. They're like sisters.
Yeah, dude, girls, this is so dumb. Like, girls could go pretty far, like hugging and touching each other before it becomes something like sexual. And like
exactly,
their intense relationship will come to head in season 2, and fans hope they are in the same room again. Some fans theories hope that the LGBTQ plus subtext becomes clearer, and that the very high tension between Alicent and Rhaenyra are explained through more than just an angry betrayal between friends, but an all-out going lady style scissoring. Like, come on. Like, they are enemies now. Like,
exactly.
That's the beauty of this story. Like, the friendship they had, was it real? Like, yes, the way you see it in the show, Alicent is just following her father, but in the book it's kind of left up. Like, was she just, also in the book she's 10 years older than her, so like, I mean, this can't be the definitive. I don't know why they tell us it is. Like, in the book the kids are 10 years different. Alicent's 18, she's 8.
Exactly.
It's dumb. God, that pisses me off. Why does it have to go there? Why can't two women be friends?
I don't know.
Come on, Tina, blow up the internet. Tell me why.
I don't know. Like I said, I mean, if they were closer in age in the books, like they were supposed to be like they portrayed them in the series, I could see, okay, fine, 10-year-old, they're 10 years old, and like, have you ever kissed a boy? I haven't kissed a boy. Well, this is how you would kiss a boy, and well, that kind of thing. I mean, I'm sure there are preteens who do that all over the world. There's college students that do that all over the world. But for them to say that it's an actual, sexual relationship between the two, I think that's just, it's wrong. It tarnishes that. Right. I mean, I've always wondered in the back of my mind, was Alicent, like, was she really good friends with Rhaenyra, or was that just part of her job because of who her father was?
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Because Rhaenyra's always been the princess. She was the named heir. So,
anyone else here? I maybe meant no. How Tina said exactly after Sporks talked about women touching each other. What? What did you say? Did I miss it?
I think when you were talking about the fact that, the two of them could be friends and they can touch each other without it being sexual. And I said exactly.
Yeah. But exactly. Oh, yeah. Nice ears, soul assassin. We got some. Yeah. Somebody plays around in college. We know what you're talking about. We don't want your husband and sons to hear this. I'm sorry. Mr. Bojan, you got a wild one, man. Good. Congrats.
He knows what he's got, and the kids were actually happy with the nickname change. When my oldest son read Bad Take Bojan, kind of was standing behind me, he goes, okay, that's actually funny.
That is funny.
So I was cool for like a micro minute. So.
That's awesome that you were. Wokies, poke, come on, be gay. One Man Show, greetings and salutations. Thank you, One Man. Hopefully we can stream gaming again. That was fun. Tina mentioned some things in college, right? Yeah, dude.
Long time ago.
I'll tell you a quick story. I may have partaked in mind-altering substances and was in the woods with a bunch of friends. And when we got back to the dorm, I was kind of still up there, not realizing how powerful it was until you come back to reality. And everybody went back up because we had like 13 stories were our dorms. So we were on the 13th floor. I had a group of girlfriends I knew on the 5th floor, I think they were. So I was like, dude, I'm going to stop there. Anybody want to stop there? And no one wanted to. So I went by myself, knocked on the door. The door opened, and it was these two guys I knew from my floor. And then all these young ladies, just in their bras, and like stuff. And they were having a gay old time. They weren't gay, but they were enjoying college, Tina.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. There are things we partake of when we are, under the influence of certain substances that,
It wasn't
lowers
nice.
your inhibitions for a reason.
It does, but they were all drunk and I was tripping balls. And when one of the girls was like, "This is natural, right? There's nothing wrong." I'm like, "Well, it's kind of weird," because I was like out of my mind and I like ruined her night. I felt so bad after that. Yeah. Sorry. You know who you are out there. I'm sorry. All right. So last one. So we got the Edinburgh News. I feel like they're going to have some good ones. Blood and cheese, of course.
Yes.
House of the Dragon ends with a devastating death of Rhaenyra Targaryen's side. Season 2 will show the aftermath of that death and the bloody revenge which is taken by Daemon Targaryen through two sinister individuals known by the nickname Blood and Cheese. It's one of the most horrific things in all of A Song of Ice and Fire, I think.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, so I do hope we get to see Blood and Cheese. Does everybody out there know who they are? Pillow fight. If not, and you want us to tell you, we could tell you. But it's one of those. Daemon and Rhaenyra get revenge. Like Rhaenyra is called Magar with teats because she's that violent after the death of Jace. So
I can't remember. Does Rhaenyra know what Daemon's doing? Like what he plots?
With the Blood and Cheese, I don't know.
Okay.
That one I don't know, but I thought she was involved in some, like, I thought she was. I don't know, because that was a moment in time where they kind of switch who's in charge of King's Landing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, like, I don't know if she knew at the time or after, but
Gotcha.
I don't think it bothered her too much. That's for you, Tina. There you go. Let's see. Cregan Stark. We didn't see it. We already talked about them, so let's move on. Daeron Targaryen, we talked about. Hugh Hammer. That'd be awesome if it was him. Yeah, Henry Cavill might not have been officially casted, but fans have said he'd make a good Hugh Hammer. He is one of a number of dragon seeds, Targaryen bastards, who gains prominence in the war by riding dragons. Hammer rides Vermithor, which is the second largest dragon in Westeros after Vhagar. Yeah, I mean, if that picture before was right of Hugh, I feel like he looks too plain. Not plain, but not like he's
not
a bastard.
Targaryen enough.
Yeah, like not man. Yeah. He looks like I'm just a dude, maybe a little chubby with a beard. Like dad bod. I want Hugh to be like a badass. Let's see. Read more. Thank you, you assholes. Okay. Nettles. So we talked about Nettles a little bit. Nettles is another dragon. She has Valerian blood, who has a key part in the dance. She tames the wild dragon Sheep Stealer, believed to be one of the largest dragons alive. Having grown up homeless on Driftmark, she is described as foul-mouthed and fearless and strikes up a friendship with Daemon Targaryen. Now, I believe she is able to get the dragon by feeding it, right?
I believe so. Yeah. Was the story.
At first that's how she connected with the dragon, by feeding it.
Mm-hmm.
And after finally the dragon trusted her and let her mount the dragon. So that's pretty cool.
Right, 'cause I think she had seen too many of the potentials just try to jump on top of the back of a dragon and, get thrown or eaten or whatever. And
Sheep Stealer is a big dragon grabbing a few sheep at a time when it freaking comes down through the farm, Mm-hmm. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I can't wait to see that. Then we got the land. This must be okay. So this is a strong. So that must be Rivers, right? The Witch of Harrenhal or whatever. Let's see.
Yeah. There you go. Elise
Rivers. I'm good, man. I do remember some stuff. Elise Rivers is rumored to be the illegitimate daughter of Lord Lionel Strong. Like Melisandre in Game of Thrones, she allegedly sees visions in flames. During the Dance of Dragons, Elise lives in Harrenhal, where she eventually meets Aemon Targaryen. Fans have pointed out Rebecca Ferguson Dune could be a good. She would be a good fit, but a little too old. Yeah, I think she'd be a little too old.
I think so.
Yeah, but who could play that? Okay, I know people have their issues with her, but the girl who plays Black Widow, the Puth, what's her name?
Oh, somebody pure, Pooh, Victoria
Yeah,
Pooh.
whatever her name is, the one that plays the new Black Widow. I think she would be a good one because she's attractive and I think she played a little crazy. Jolly, more hot D, don't know, don't care, do carry on Z. I love you, man. First of all, it's not more. Like, I haven't done this in months, but I always appreciate you showing love and watching the videos and commenting. And please, guys, if you're out there when the stream's over, comment and share it out, and make sure if you're one of the 25% not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. I need you. And over on Rumble, I love you all. Keep growing my channel over there, please. We did gain one person, so we're at 352. So thank you very much. Yeah. So it's Florence Pugh. I think she would do a good job. Like, she's, like a witch. I always wondered if she was somehow found out about the Lord of Light. Even if it wasn't through through visions alone, not through like the teaching, because I don't know. I don't think it was in Westeros at all at that time, but I know it was for maybe like 40 to 50 years prior of the original storyline, but I don't know if it goes back that far in Westeros, but wouldn't it be cool? Like, she got it through visions.
Oh, absolutely. I wonder if we'll ever find out that if the Lord of the Light has any connection to the Valerians or the Targaryens because of the fact that, dragons breathe fire.
Yep.
And whatnot.
I always wonder if the Lord of Light was, because there was a group of people that taught the Valerians, who were just farmers and sheep herders, to connect telepathically with dragons. And I don't think they were for the Empire of the Dawn. I don't know where they were from, but I kind of remember it. And I always wondered if like those people followed the Lord of Light and taught them those teachings without explaining who the Lord of Light really was.
Oh, okay.
Maybe because of visions, knowing they would need to follow the Seven to control Westeros. So I don't know. Always have weird ideas like that. I'm pretty smart.
That's the fun part. Like, I wouldn't mind doing that with like all of A Song of Ice and Fire if we hadn't been waiting for 12 years for the book, because it's okay to like have theories and what's going to happen next, but after about 12 years you're like, all right, fine, just
but like Gary has said in the past, and I know he still believes this, if Dance of Dragons comes out tomorrow, my channel will be 24/7 videos and theories and chapter reading.
Winter.
Oh, Winds of Winter. Jesus. What did I say?
You said Dance with Dragons, but that's what we're talking about next. So
I'm a little lost. It's only been 11 years. Yeah. Winds of Winter. I'll be doing chapter reads and going over all that. Like, I started my channel because of A Song of Ice and Fire. So, I would totally be doing that and be happy. Adam Valerian. So this is also known as Adam of the Hull. Adam Valerian is another dragon seed who is legitimized by Corlys Valerian. He rides the dragon Sea Smoke, who is the former mount of Laenor Valerian. Now this is where it gets weird. However, given what happened to Laenor in the show, some fans think Adam might actually be Laenor in disguise. Well, I mean, it would have to be like magic, because the kid looks nothing like Laenor.
Exactly. I mean, so unless it was the same actor who they recast.
Right. So for people that don't know, and this is spoilers for Blood and is it Blood and Fire? Fire and Blood, the book. When Laenor, there's a moment where Laenor dies, and that's right after. That's when Rhaenyra and Daemon get married. A lot of people think there was foul play, blah, blah, blah. And then this kid years later comes back as saying he's a bastard son of Laenor. So if you now let Laenor live and he has his dragon, how the hell does this kid take the dragon from him? Either he has to kill him or it has to be him in disguise. Right? There's no other way for him to get the dragon.
Exactly.
Yeah, kind of messed up. I could have killed them all, but I just flew away because it's not my war. That was one.
I still love that actress, though.
I do. I like her.
Plays a role like amazingly.
Yeah, she's good, but oh man, that part pissed me off. In House of the Dragon season 1 finale, Rhaenys Valerian finally chooses a side. Yeah, she could have ended the war. But anyways, it tells Rhaenyra Targaryen she will personally patrol the gullet herself with her dragon Melees, a stretch of water which is crucial for access to the Blackwater Bay and King's Landing. Its control is vital to the outcome of the war. The Battle of the Gullet is therefore likely to take place. Oh, will it in season 2? Now, I got to remember that one because I'm a little forgetting the Battle of the Gullet. Exactly what happens. All right, there we go.
I mean, it makes perfect sense about how Blackwater Bay is so important, because you're either going to need to keep it clean when you have, clean and passable when you have King's Landing, and if not, you want to stop them,
right?
Fortifying the city. So.
Well, I remember. Okay, so it is one of the bloodiest sea battles in history. It takes place in 130 AC. After the assault on After the assault on Harrenhal by Prince Daemon, further blows to the Greens, Sir Otto Hightower in the hand of the king to Aegon II hatched a plan to break the Valyrian fleet's blockade because they blockade the gullet. Otto reached out across the narrow sea to enemies of Prince Daemon in the Triarchy, hoping to persuade them to move against the sea snake and Daemon. Otto plans to take time, and Aegon II eventually ran out of patience. That's what happened. Okay, yeah, and switches him out with Sir Kristen Cole. So I remember it being pretty badass battle. I don't remember who lives or dies though. And you know what? I'm not going to look at it because that'll be cool.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So we have one more page. So I got to ask you to do me a favor, a huge favor. Can you just read this next one and maybe talk about it for a minute? And I will.
Absolutely.
So there's the Sir Harold. And if I don't get back in time, you have the Kermit and Grover Tully, which is supposed to be crucial in the Dance of Dragons. All right. I'll be right back.
All righty. The return of Sir Harold Westerling, one of my favorite guys from here. He also played by Graham McTavish, who's an amazing actor. Love him in Outlander. Has a more prominent role in the House of the Dragon series than in the book. This noble knight gained fans' respect when he resigned as Lord Commander of the Kingsguard under the Green Coup in Episode 8. So he could appear to help the Blacks in season 2. So what do you think? Is he going to come back? I forget exactly if he ever came back in the book. So I am cheating, of course, and checking online. Harold Westerling. All righty. Let us see. It is so Kristen Cole became the head of Lord Commander. So he's only mentioned in the book as a record of his death. He is given much more expansive role in the House of the Dragons, where the actor Graham McTavish was in season 1. So interesting. So he was a member of Kingsguard for absolutely ever, and obviously Lord Commander in the first season. So what do we think? Since he was in the first season more than he should have, do you think he's going to show up to support Rhaenyra, or do you think it's the last that we have heard of Graham McTavish and Harold Westerling? Any thoughts? All right. So of course the Kermit the Frog character is not what I remember from House of the Dragon.
So sorry.
Oh, him. No problem. Kermit Tully. That was the one I was looking for. I'm like, I know, remember Tully's last name.
Yeah, Kermit Tully. Right
yes,
there.
yes. The Lord of River Run.
Yeah.
There you go.
And the Trident River is crucial. So.
Absolutely.
And yes, George did name them after Muppet characters. So that is that with that. I got to tell you,
hysterical.
I ran upstairs because I thought I heard something, and my wife loves when I'm down here to turn off like all the lights to the kitchen and stuff. So we have like a baby gate, and it was not all the way open or all the way closed. So I thought it was all the way open. And when I stepped my foot over, I got caught in the rails, and like almost, I almost took the whole, like I took out almost my wall. Like I went down. I was
little
like,
gymnastics routine right
oh
there.
my God. It was terrible. I was like, oh my God, I broke my toe. It was one of those moments. So much fun. So good.
Too funny. Yeah, when I was talking about Sir Harold Westerling, it's like, I don't remember if I've seen any whisperings of Graham McTavish being on set at all.
Right. I haven't either. Now that you say it. I mean, what would be the reason for him to come back? I don't remember how big of his presence was after.
I think in the books, I mean, it's just he dies, and I don't think he was much of a character in the books at all.
Okay.
Except for the fact that he spent most of his life in the King's Guard, and that he was replaced by Kristen Cole.
Right, and that was one of those just like, this was the guy before Kristen Cole and Tristan, and this is how he got, his position. Okay.
Exactly.
So before we go, it's like 9:35. So I was going to take like another 20 minutes or so if you got time.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, cool. We have a couple Reddit, the Dance of Dragon kind of theories. So I have like 3 of them. I want to see which one I like the best though. So give me 1 second.
No problem.
So this one, I love how history repeats itself in A Song of Ice and Fire in the real world. In this post, I thought it would be fun to do a similar exercise with the information we have for upcoming. Wait a minute. Okay. I don't know what I'm talking about. How long is this one? Way too long. Okay. My theory about the Dance of the Dragons, the crucial case of Magon Alexei and Balon Targaryen. Oh, maybe we'll do that because I don't know that one. And it's short. Okay. Or a Maester's conspiracy and the death of the dragons, which is a big one, but we all believe that. I believe they had something to do with it. All right. This is what we're going to do. We're going to start with the quick one, and then we'll finish with really quick the Maester one, and we'll only do the 2 of them because I'm having fun. You having fun? I'm having fun.
I'm having a great time.
Good. And I hope the 7 to, and the other couple that are on Rumble, I hope you guys are having fun too. Thank you for being here. Again, any questions, anything you want to throw out there? I know it's late for some of you, or early risers or middle of your day, whatever it is. If you have a question or something you want us to cover, please let us know and I will do that. And if you want a topic to change to something, starting bid is $5. My theory. Oh yeah, I have to share it. I forgot Mad made it so it doesn't automatically share. That son of a bitch.
He doesn't trust the rest of us.
No, he knows me too well, probably. I think that's what it is. Okay, so first, for any confusion, let me explain who everyone is. I don't think I need to explain who Maesters are. The dance. Oh, so this is also about Maesters. Okay. The Dance of the Dragon was a civil war during the Targaryen rule of the Seven Kingdoms, a war of succession between Aegon II and his half-sister Rhaenyra over their father Viserys I's throne. The war was fought. Okay, so let's remember, 129 to 131. So literally it's 129 in the show. They went through decades. 2 years?
Season 1.
That was all of season 1. Like, you have to drag this sucker out because they got a winner. So how are they going to do that? With flashbacks, maybe?
I like the flashbacks idea.
Yeah.
I wonder if they are just going to give us epic dragon battles because we did not get enough of that.
We got nothing.
The main series.
Yeah. Like that last battle with Vhagar, I hope that was just like a appetizer. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like the way they made him like a shadow in the cloud, like that was dope.
I
really thought it was great. I'm excited for it. I'm really hoping Gary has me on his damn show this time. I'm not mad. I don't hold grudges.
Stops by and visits us too.
Yeah, that too. But I'd rather be on his channel. More people see me. But no, invite Jane.
That's true.
I love Jane, but invite her, not me. Whatever. You know what? We'll talk about it later, Gary. God. It saw the death of both rival monarchs and the crowning of Rhaenyra's son, Aegon III. Again, spoilers, but I've been warning people all the way through. Now the part that I really need to explain, but can't really do that well due to lack of information. If anyone is confused, here is a Song of Ice and Fire link to these characters. Whatever. Well, I'll click that just so if I need to take a look, I can figure out who's who. So there is a big mystery regarding Magon, Aelix, and Balon Targaryen. They were the 3rd, 5th, and 6th lords of Dragonstone. What is mysterious regarding them is they left no issue and apparently weren't married. Issues and apparently not married. Now here is my theory and how they are all connected. What if there was some sort of dance of dragons with Driftmark and Dragonstone? Now, unfortunately, we don't even know birth dates or death days for these characters. Now back to my proposal. Okay, so let's see what he was talking about. So Alex is the daughter of, so Aegon and Elena, and then his parents are Daenerys and Gaemon. Aenar and Unknown Wife. What freaking tree is this?
So basically, just the Lords of Dragonstone for those 3 generations were just like cousins or distant relatives, because they didn't marry, they didn't have children.
Yeah, so they were Lord Gaemon's family. He was the 2nd Lord of Dragonstone. So he was the son of Aenar Targaryen and had at least one sister, Daenerys. He came to Dragonstone along with his family in 114 BC. Gaemon was married to Dany, and together they had several children, Aegon, Elena, and at least one younger daughter. Aegon and Elena eventually inherited the rule of Dragonstone from Gaemon. Gaemon was called Gaemon the Glorious, and he is remembered as the greatest Targaryen Lord of Dragonstone during the Century of Blood. King Jaehaerys I Targaryen named his 11th child after the Lord Gaemon. Sadly, the babe came early, and Prince Gaemon died short of 3 moons old. One of the 14 claimants at the Great Council of 101 was Gaemon's descendant through his younger daughter. Okay, so yeah, like you said, but I'm trying to figure out. Who is Aenar's the guy who brought them over from the Doom? Yeah. Okay.
Thought so. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. That I got a little lost there for a second, but yeah, that's it. Okay. Now I figured
Doesn't
out.
help that all the names are spelled very similar or they repeat across many generations.
Right. Absolutely. And it's just funny how I'm trying to see where you have the two. Also, they branch into 2 families, Baratheon and Targaryen. So down the line, and it looks like mostly on the, it goes from Dany's and then to Elena and Aegon, and then their children get married. So 2 children, and then, I'm sorry, Aerys and an Unknown Wife get married. They have Daemon, who then has Aeron, and then you got Aegon. Oh, wow, it's a long history. Sorry, everybody. Let's get out of there. My brain hurts. So there is a big mystery regarding Magon. Okay, we went through that. What mysterious regards that? Okay, well, we went through that. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's just say Magon was a bookish man, or for some other reason, much like Aerys the First, had no interest in getting married. So let's say Aerys, his brother, not Aerys the First, I know so many names, says that his misrule of Dragonstone must come to an end. So let's just say that Alex is on his uncle's side while Balon and Damian. Okay, wait a minute. Is this just like some dude's fan fiction for my proposed dance? This was supposed to be about the dance. I hate these people. This has nothing to do with the dance, man. This is like way before.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. So, I mean, all of that was supposed. So, if the Maesters helped orchestrate the dance, and use the past experience on how to plan at the Citadel located in Old Town where Queen Alicent Hightower's from. They saw a danger of all the dragons. Okay, so maybe this is just feeding into his theory
Okay,
about the
like
Maesters.
them fighting in that 100 years,
Mm-hmm.
the Maesters got scared and
Exactly.
realized,
And
like,
that,
okay,
yeah, and it looks like they're saying that the Maesters maybe even orchestrated the problems between the Targaryens
oh
and the
well,
High Towers, which would then help get rid of the dragons.
I wouldn't have a doubt about that. Again, let's remember in most societies at this time, even in real history, the kings, queen, they didn't read, so the
Mm-hmm.
maesters were the ones reading letters, sending letters. You don't use their official surnames, so they only,
Mm-hmm.
Maester Bob. But guess what? Bob's a high tower.
Right.
So like you don't lose those family bonds too easily. Aemon Targaryen, Maester Aemon was kind of a cut above the rest, and he almost gave up, after the death of his family. So
Mm-hmm.
come on. Okay, that was a little interesting, but it screwed me all up. So let's go to this last one then. Thank you for whoever you six are hanging out with us. Fun, sure. I'm on the edge of my seat and all that. I hate you, man. That was awesome. Oh, put it like it really is, right? And that's why I don't have many subscribers. But if you're one of the 25% that hasn't subscribed, please make sure you do. Share screen.
Because you can
Theory.
always make fun of us in the chats. It's
Right.
totally cool.
And we're cool with that. Like, and disagree, which is cool with this chat is you could disagree with us. Just don't be a dick.
Yeah.
That was funny because I know one man show, but like, like if someone comes on here and just starts saying racist or dumb shit, like, yeah, you're out. I'm gonna block you. Ooh, free speech. Yeah, whatever. Go screw yourself. I don't want to lose my damn channel. But if
And
you want
also
to
too, free speech on your time, not our
yeah,
time.
right. I don't have just because it's free and you're allowed to say whatever you want doesn't mean I have to promote it. But I do allow all disagreement. If you have a true disagreement and don't agree with me, we'll be respectful, have fun, take pop shots. But other than that, you can say whatever you want. Look at One Man Show. He's a dick. Love him. Okay, here we go. So this is a wait a minute. This ain't the same one, right? Okay, it's not the same one.
No, this one's a little bit different. Yeah.
Okay, the Maester Conspiracy and the Death of Dragons. Reading The Princess and the Queen made me think, oh, how old is this? This is good. Oh, 9 years. Nice. So now, one thing about this, it is 9 years old, and George had like 3 different versions of this story. I believe in the first, which is in the main, I don't know if it's the main series. I think it is. Aegon and Rhaenyra were like 2 years apart, and they were like sister and brother. They weren't half.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I don't know if it was the Princess and the Queen where he made them like a bigger, like a 10-year difference or a 9-year difference. And then also made them half siblings. Maybe we'll find out through this, but I know the very beginning they were siblings and they were only like a year or two apart.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the dance and the Maester's conspiracy explained very well in this post. In short, the theory holds that the Maesters brought about the extinction of dragons in Westeros as part of their effort to destroy and minimize the effect of magic in the world, which I believe. However, the origins of the alleged conspiracy remain unclear. When, why did it begin? After reading P and Q, I believe that the conspiracy began after the Dance of Dragons in response to the threat to the realm posed by dragons during like he says, the war, but during a civil war. Like, they probably were like, oh my God, dragons are scary, but like, they're the rulers. But when the rulers fight themselves and there's that so much fallout because of that, I too believe that they started to, I don't know if it was right before, I think it was after, like right after they realized we can't have this happen again. So, because think about the Blackfire rebellions. If they all had dragons, holy shit, there was like 5 of them.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
That would be crazy. Well, then I wonder maybe that's how they do the whole, Daenerys's, change in character. Maybe they're just saying, it's just something about the dragons because they're linked to their riders, and the dragons are more feral as beasts, and that they're going to be like, yeah, go ahead and all these bad people made you mad.
Don't
my
defend that
queen.
writing.
So let's.
Please
Okay,
don't
I'm
defend that
sorry.
writing.
I'm
Like
sorry.
you really
Me,
try.
I've
God
always
bless
tried.
you.
I try so hard. I
You
do.
try so hard to save Danny's reputation, and I thank you for that. It just was a dumb reason, and she was dumb and deserved to die after that. McQueen. Okay, summary of the dance. Do we really need that? It occurred approximately, 100 years. So 129 to 131, we know that. Okay, they did change it by this book. The war involved a succession between a half-sister and Aegon II. For the purpose of my arguments, the most important fact is that the dance involved both sides employing a great number of dragons. I don't have an exact count. I think we said 22 to 24, but the war began with something like 15 dragons, a little more than that, either tamed or wild, alive in Westeros, including Dragonstone. Aside from Vhagar, the only surviving dragon from the three ridden by Aegon the Conqueror and his sisters, all of the other dragons were hatched after the conquest of Westeros. This means that Targaryens could regularly hatch dragon eggs prior to the dance. The war caused the death of almost all of the then living dragons. A few years later, the last dragon died under the reign of Aegon III, Aegon the Dragonbane. All subsequent attempts to hatch dragon eggs resulted in fail. Wait a minute, it died that quick? Wow, I didn't realize they died under Aegon. I thought another generation or two, they just got really small and withered out because they forced them to stay in the pit. All right. Maybe I was wrong on that. Everything mentioned above is basically fact. The obvious conclusion is that something occurred during the dance, bringing about the end of dragons in Westeros. It's not just the dance killed off a lot of dragons. The key point is no one could hatch dragon eggs after the dance, while they could before the dance. But the question remains, why? Well, a lot of it was Aegon III being tricked by, this is what I'm going to say first. Aegon III saw, as a young child, a terrible, terrible war that took his grandmother, I believe his father, and his uncle or his grandfather, because I think Daemon was his grandfather, took a majority of his family, and even the family on the other side killed all the dragons. It was terrible. So he hated dragons by the time he was king. But I feel like there was also, he may not have gone as far as he did if it wasn't for the Maesters. But I could be wrong.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I know. I make a lot of sense. Okay, assertion 1. There was no conspiracy before the dance. Key to my theory is that I don't believe there is a sufficient evidence to think that the Maesters played any role in starting the dance itself. The war was just natural succession crisis. Yeah, that's true. And as explained above, dragons were flourishing prior to the dance. Therefore, there was no Maester conspiracy before the dance began. At the very least, if there was a conspiracy, then it was not very successful, did not include the killing of dragons. I think it was more or less Aegon, and then you had the control of the high towers because their side lost controlling the Maesters at the Citadel. I think that's one. Okay, so the dance provided motivation. Again, I think it's just going to say what I said. The use of dragons in the dance damaged the realm. Okay, galvanizing them. Okay. The key word here is unprecedented. While dragons had been in Westeros for over a century by the time of the dance, actually 2 centuries, there's no evidence of them causing unusually severe damage to the realm before the dance. Yeah, it was 2 centuries because you had the Century of Blood after the Doom, and then you had, starting with Aegon's conquest, is another 100 years. So come on, man, know your stuff. They were used during Aegon's conquest, probably by Maegor during the Faith Militant Uprising, but only in the usual course of combat. To be sure, dragons caused tremendous destruction, field of fire, but the carnage didn't seem to extend beyond the battlefield. That changed during the dance. Major spoilers for a book that's 9 years old. At least 2 events during the dance caused damage to the realm that was beyond the ordinary. Both events occurred only because of the presence of dragons, and both events constituted injuries to the realm unprecedented, again, in Westeros. Okay, so that's Hugh Hammer and Ulf White. Known as the 2 betrayers, they were bastards with Targaryen blood who were recruited by Queen Rhaenyra to be dragon riders. As their nickname implies, they switch sides in the middle of the battle. More importantly, with both sides losing soldiers and dragons, Hugh Hammer began demanding that he be made king because he rode the largest dragon still living. In other words, the ability to ride a dragon allowed some random bastard to seriously demand to be crowned king. I believe this posed an unprecedented, wow, that guy loves this word, threat to the political stability of the realm. It's like if a terrorist organization got control of the most powerful nuke in the world and threatened to use it unless their demands were met. So I think this was one of the first times where, like, people saw that you didn't have to have that royal Targaryen blood to tame a dragon. They saw that bastards could even, like Nettles, feed them and control them that way. Like, so any asshole could become king if they were strong enough.
And that would really scare the maesters, because it's not just one family they need to worry about suppressing in order to eliminate or reduce the number of dragons. If anybody could tame a dragon.
Right. It would become, yeah, if anybody, even without the blood, you never know, could do it too, following some of the other ways. I think still you have to have that Valyrian gene. You wouldn't just have the Valerians and the Targaryens. You would have multiple branch houses that are formed. You know, like, it'd be pretty crazy. So that's a good point. The massacre at King's Landing. Is this Dany? No. At one point in the war, a crazed mob of small folk in the King's Landing stormed the dragon pit in order to kill the 4 dragons housed within, which I think the maesters got them all riled up. As you expect, things did not go well. The dragons eventually were killed, but not before taking down thousands of people with them. The same incident caused a 5th dragon to break free and cause even more damage to King's Landing. Again, I believe this incident was unprecedented. It involved riderless dragons causing destruction without any human control. As far as I can tell, no other wild creature has ever caused so much damage in the history of Westeros. No duh. I mean, yeah. Kraken can't do that much. It's whatever boats near it, I guess. So yeah, of course. But I don't know if he's going to say it, but I believe the maesters got the small folk up in a tizzy, had people go out there and pump them up, because there was thousands that stormed. Like, it was definitely riled up.
Okay. And you could even argue that it's kind of almost related to a religious war, in the sense that, you know, the dragons represented a religion or a history that they, you know, that they no longer wanted in Westeros.
That's a good point. And let's go back to Maegor. Maegor fought the Faith militia or militant because the Faith hated having the Targaryens in control. But, you know, Aegon was, when he conquered, he gave them, like, I will, like, look, they hate polygamy and incest, but guess what? I will allow you guys to keep your faith. You will, you know, baptize us and you will let our shit slide. But when he died, and who took over? It wasn't Maegor's brother, was Aerys? No, not Aerys the first. His brother took over, and right away, shit went down with the Faith militia. He gave them power, allowed them to grow too big, and the Faith thought they could take them down. And Maegor said, screw that. After his brother's death, he stole the crown and, you know, destroyed them because, again, the Faith saw them as a danger. But during that, I could see how the Maesters could see them also as like okay, they're zealots. They are some different type of, if not religious, but this family of zealots that believe they are better than humans, and they have these nuclear weapons. So, valid point. I'm glad I made you sound smarter.
Hey.
Right. Can you maybe read the I believe?
Sure.
Thank you.
I believe other events during the dance also contributed to the Maester's realization of the danger posed by dragons, including several battles with unusually severe casualty rates and the burning/total destruction of several towns. Although Westeros got a taste of power of the dragons during the conquest, which involved only 3 dragons, it got a face full of it during the dance, which involved over a dozen dragons, as we mentioned, somewhere between 17 and
24, 22.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something like that.
24. Yeah.
Consequently, the dance motivated the Maesters to prevent the hatching of future dragons for the good of the realm. With the existing dragon population decimated by the dance and the dragon's eggs prevented from hatching by the Maesters, it wasn't long before dragons became extinct. And the Maesters have remained ever vigilant to ensure that they continue to be extinct.
Valid point. I think it's a valid point. He does
Absolutely.
have a caveat. If you don't mind reading this too, my throat is killing me.
Sure. Oh, no problem. This theory is based on conjecture and does not have direct textual support. Additionally, it doesn't explain how the Maesters prevented future dragons from hatching. Finally, there are alternate explanations for the extinction of dragons that are fully consistent with the timeline. However, if there was indeed a Maesters conspiracy to kill dragons, I believe the chronology of events strongly suggests that it began after the end of the dance.
I
I could
completely
see.
agree.
I mean, there might be maybe there might be a maester or two that never
Mm-hmm.
liked dragons and thought, okay, what can we do? Or maybe doing research, reading about how they could fight the dragons or weaken the dragons in some way, shape, or form. And then after the dance, it just proved how important
Yep.
that was.
Yep. Yeah. And again, they took advantage of a young kid, Aegon the Third, and made him hate dragons. I think we're gonna find that out a little bit more. I wish it was clearer in the book, but again, these are written by different people that heard, rumors.
Right.
Let's see, any of these people say anything good? I agree with you that the Maesters conspiracy is a real thing. Didn't exist before. If it is a real thing, didn't exist before the dance happened. That being said, Maesters did intervene at some key points in the dance. When Lucerys, Rhaenys' son, goes to claim the loyalty of Storm's End and finds that Aegon II has sent his brother Aemon there with the same purpose, never a man of letters, this was something I was going to point out before. Lord Boris Baratheon handed the Rhaenyra's letter to his maester, who cracked the seal and whispered the message into the Lord's ear. A frown stole across Lord Barros's face. Go home, pup, and tell that bitch your mother that the Lord of Storm's End is not a dog that she could whistle up at need to set against her foes. I always thought, did he read it in a way that he knew would be disrespectful, Mm-hmm. So a lot of people, including myself, believe that Maester twisted or even straight out lied because no one other than Rhaenyra knew what was written in the letter. And then, although the marriage offer from Aemon is just as good of an explanation, not only does this incident strip Rhaenyra of a strong supporter, it also leads to Aemon killing Lucerys and guarantees that the Targaryens and their dragons will continue to fight and kill each other. Right. I don't know if he knew that would happen, but I think he didn't want, because if Rhaenyra had the strength of the Baratheons on her side, and Rhaenyra wasn't controlled as easily by maesters as like Alicent, seemed more willing to listen to a maester. I think I could see him twisting that and this just being the outcome, because the Baratheons, they're men of their words usually. They do what they're said, and their loyalty has been unbreakable for over 100 years. And all of a sudden, after swearing oath of allegiance to her, they would be like, screw her because this is a better deal. I don't know.
Yeah, does make a lot of sense.
Yeah. This one also, after Rhaenyra orders Lord Mouton to kill his guest Nettles as a traitor, his maester comes up with an alternative. Thereupon, Lord Mouton sighed and said, "Would that I had never read this letter." And upspoke Maester Norrin says, "Mayhaps you never did." What was said after that is unknown. All we know is that the maester and young man of 22 found Prince Daemon and the girl Nettles and showed them the queen's letter. So that maester definitely had some ulterior motives. And again, we don't know their last names. So acted in the Lord's best interest. However, he could have been looking for a way to create more fighting. to kill dragons. Sure enough, the incident led to the disappearance of Nettles and her dragon and the death of Daemon and Aemon's dragons. Also, the pointed mention that Norrin was 2 and 20 makes it seem like he's a new maester, maybe one who left the citadel during the dance with orders to find ways to kill dragons. If not kill dragons, just cause more havoc within the Civil War. And if he's 22, he still probably has those feelings for his family. You know, he hasn't learned to break from it, whoever his family is. So,
Exactly.
yeah, but that was fun. We went for 2 hours, so that was a good time. Thank you so much for showing up. I had a good time.
Hey, I'm happy to come by at any time.
No, I appreciate it because no one else did. And again, though, hopefully, like in the future, we'll have, we're going to stick with the Song of Ice and Fire for a while. So hopefully we'll have Mr. Grant Gregory, maybe a guest or two. We'll have Mason of the Free Folk, Zach's hopefully, even Matt if he wants to, you know, whatever. Matt could do it. And who am I missing?
You said that Jane might come back.
Oh, and Jane.
Talking about fun stuff that's fun.
No, not might. She has to. I told her she had to. I said at least once a month. I told her at least once a month. So I didn't want to do the first one right away. Like make it a little like, oh, Jane hasn't been around, and then Scott's got her, yay. You know, like right before I have her on, she'll be on like Friday Night Tights because that's always happens. He always gets my ideas and steals them. He watches this. I know he combs through my stuff. But hopefully Gary will be on in August on the dump. So love you, man. Yeah, bring Jane back. She and Tina can have a gals talk dragons chat. Hey, dude, I'll let that happen on my channel in a heartbeat. Jane has left. Yeah, she left YouTube and most social medias. I think she's keeping her Kick, which I really don't know much about, and Twitch. But other than that, you know, I don't think she deleted it. She's just not. She has some family things going on, and also the haters got to her. The constant just people attacking you for your opinions, like that keyboard warrior shit that I don't take personally because I know it's probably some tool that would never say that to my face, you know, but it, you know, sensitive people it gets to. And Jane is a intelligent, sensitive, you know, even though strong, but still sensitive person. And, you know, you dicks hurt her who did it. Not my fans, though. Not mine.
Of course not. Of course not.
And,
but
you know,
yes.
well, how do you feel about it?
Well, I'm very happy that Jane is keeping Kick and Twitch because that means that she'll continue to game and that's where she has fun. And once again, it's something she enjoys, like coming back to talk to us about A Song of Ice and Fire, something that she can enjoy and debate about because she likes the you know, the mythos. But I think it's absolutely horrible what social media has done to, you know, the last 2 generations. And and as time goes by, it honestly doesn't matter the platform. There's still the folks that can use that, you know, hiding behind a screen and not being face to face to someone to say things that they probably would never have the courage to do. You know,
absolutely
any other conversation. So I think it's horrible, but I am very, very glad that that she's taking a stand for her health and well-being.
Yeah, me too. And you know, and she was very clear in her. So I'm not like throwing out anything she said privately, but in her farewell stream, like Jane didn't say exactly what she does, but she mentioned that. Instead of, you know, what we did here where we're vocal and, you know, trying to get the fans support to get behind us and stop, you know, scream to these companies, you're killing our stuff, please stop it. She can go on the actual legal side of it where they're trying to pass crazy, you know, SJW laws, you know, and amendments. And she has the ability to fight that on that side. It's pretty freaking cool. It's really cool. So I'm self-centered, so people comments don't bother me. Same here. I don't care. Like I've been through hell and back in my life. Like your little words aren't going to hurt me. I'm sorry. But if you're one of the 25% that hasn't subscribed to YouTube, please do. And if you're over on Rumble, dude, please follow me, support me over there. We're at 352. I would love to get to 400 soon. So it took me forever to get to 350. So I appreciate every single one of you guys. And we will be planning on doing a couple of these once we get going down the road on Rumble only. Monday nights there might be like 1 week with both and then 1 week just Rumble, because I really want to grow that over there. But again, where are you going to be this week? You're going to show up on Wednesday?
I wasn't sure if we were going to have a stream on Wednesday, but if we
I
are,
don't know.
I will be here on Wednesday if we are, and I'm always available on the weekends. And when I'm
Yes.
not hanging out with Mr. Scott and Mad, you can find me on Vineyard's channel on Friday evenings around 5 p.m. Eastern, and on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. We talk about pretty much the same stuff that topics in terms of current culture and what movies have come out recently, and how we can fight the fight. And of course, I'm usually the one little hypocrite in the group that are going, but I still love Loki. Oh, but I still love I still love Secret Invasion. But I think it's probably just because of the fact that the older I get, I'm old enough to be some folks' moms around here,
Yeah.
and it's just you get sentimental over your childhood, and where I try to find the beauty in the fact that it's been great since X-Files in like the early 90s. We've had sci-fi and fantasy in our culture. It left the books,
Yep. Yeah.
and has become part of modern
And
entertainment.
huge. It left
Exactly.
the
So
books and it was huge. Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, it's been a beautiful, wonderful thing for me to have and share with my kids who are now adults now. So so that's why I try to find the good in things, and
Mhm.
and it's okay. You can hate Disney. I don't necessarily love Disney as a company. I'm just happy that I get some of the MCU that I get. And and if you're a comic purist, that's cool too. We can talk about the comics. We don't
Yep.
have to talk about the MCU's interpretation of it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I think that's awesome. I think it's awesome. I think we need more of it, but also I've gotten to the point where we can't just talk about things we don't like. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
it's too much at times. So let's push the things we love, things we kind of like, but not hold back from going after the douches that are ruining our modern myths. So thank you everybody. Yeah, Comics Division. I kind of want to get on there, so I thought I asked them the other day. I just don't remember where to find the link, but I might be over there. So hopefully we'll see you guys there, and we'll see you next Monday for more A Stream by the Crossroads or a Spork of Ice and Fire.
Ooh, love
Later.
that name.
Later, y'all.
Good night.
Totally cut you off. Sorry.